and welcome back to part 2 this time. Again we're on the mat, and again we're using the overball if you have one. If you don't have one, carry on regardless. If you're using the ball, what we're going to do is pop it behind the pelvis. So now we're sitting on the mat with our feet flat into the floor. You could just have the heels grounded or the whole of the foot grounded. And I want you to sit up as tall as you can through the spine. So think about your alignment. Ideally, you want to find that natural lumbar curve that softens slightly inwards towards the body, and then the inward curve of the neck. The back of the head is coming out, the rib cage is coming out, the pelvis is coming out towards the ball. So you're wanting to find that lovely S-shaped curve through the spine. We're going to start with the hands behind the knees, behind the thighs, elbows nice and wide, and then beginning in that tallest position you can make through your spine. On your breath in, we're going to let the pelvis tip slightly backwards towards your ball, the upper body soften forwards, but you'll notice my shoulders are still over my hips. Then you breathe out and you roll the pelvis forwards, lengthen your spine, lift your chest and look straight ahead. So we breathe in to make that C shape, that C curve through the spine. Breathe out, roll forwards, lift through the chest and return to your upright position. So breathing in and breathing out. And as you continue to make these little C curves through your spine, think about a really active drawing in through the tummy. So the tummy is drawing towards your spine to help you to lengthen your spine into this position. And what you'll feel in the back is a really nice sense of length and movement and mobility right the way down the spine. Just make this your last one, because this is our preparation for the next phase. It's going to get a little bit more challenging here. We're going to come into some rollbacks. One thing you'll notice I haven't mentioned are using yoga blocks to sit on. And the reason for that is because I want you to be able to roll back onto your tailbone without falling off anything underneath you. So hence us being directly onto the mat. So rollbacks, we're going to add the arms into this position. So they lengthen out in front of us, palms are turned down. Again, you're sitting up as straight as you can. It starts off with your C curve, so you round your spine into that C shape. Now try to keep that C shape, but let your pelvis tip back away from your legs. Now your lower back is softening onto the ball. Take a breath in here, and then breathe out, roll forwards, bring your shoulders over your hips, and then lift yourself back up. So it'll be your breath in for the C shape, the breath out to roll back, breathe in to pause, and then breathe out to roll forwards. Lift yourself back up. We'll just do 2 more of these at your own pace, and you'll notice as you roll back, the tummy's having to work much stronger to hold your spine into this position and to stop you from dropping over the ball or dropping to the mat. So think of that really nice support from the front. This is going to be your last set. We'll add another little challenge if you would like to. If you're happy with that challenge, carry on with it. We're going to add in a little arm lift to help work a little bit higher up into the abdominals. So start with your arms out in front. This time turn your palms in to face one another. Breathe in as you C curve, breathe out to roll back, and now breathe in. Lift your arms just in front of the face, don't take them behind. Lower the arms, roll forward, and lift yourself back. So breathe in for the C shape, breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, arms go up. You'll feel it's a lot more hard work than the previous version. I certainly feel this. Breathing in, breathe out. Arms lift, make sure you don't look up to them, keep looking towards your legs, keeping your neck in good alignment with the rest of your spine. This will be your last one. When you've finished there, let's add one more little challenge. We're going to add in a waist twist to the movement. So let's start off same arm position, same spinal position, and if the ball has rolled away, just push it back up against your tailbone. Come into your C curve and roll back. Now holding that position, open your right arm out to the side and then twist your spine back so that your shoulder, your arm move a little further away behind you. Untwist your spine, roll forwards and lift yourself back. I'm just going to show you from another angle, if that helps. So same starting position, palms are in, you see curve, and you roll back. Once you're back, stay there, open the left arm, twist your spine to the left, the upper back rotates, untwist, roll forward, and sit up straight. We're just going to do one more to each side, and I want you to keep your legs and your pelvis really still. So it's the arm that opens, the upper back that rotates, untwist, roll forward, sit up straight. Just do one last one to finish. Really good, well done. So let's come onto our backs again, back onto the mat. However, this time, what we're going to use is the ball underneath the upper back. And because we're using that, we'll need substantial head support. So for my body, I'm going to use definitely a thick head cushion, a little one, and in fact probably another little one. You'll need to assess your own body as you do this session. What you want to always ensure is that your head, neck, spine are more or less in the same line. If you feel your chin is poking up to the ceiling, you need to add another head cushion underneath your head. Again, you can use towels, several towels stacked on top of one another to help you to find the right head support. When you place the ball under the upper back, it's going to come right between the shoulder blades. So make sure it doesn't sit under your lower back, and make sure it doesn't sit underneath the neck, because you want your neck to be able to move in this position. So we're back into relaxation position, just a little bit different because we're on the ball, and the ball is just helping us to find more length through the front of the body, and we're in a slight extension position now. We're going to start off with a few arm exercises to give us really nice shoulder mobility exercises. Because we have the ball, we've lifted that little bit off the mat, which means we have greater range of movement. If you don't have the ball, the exercises will be just as beneficial with slightly less range. So let's make sure the feet are hip width apart, parallel. Weight into the tailbone, the pelvis as close to neutral as you can find. And then let's start with the arms above the chest into shoulder drops position. They're shoulder width apart, palms are turned in, and the weight of the arms are dropping back into the ball or into the mat underneath you. So you want to feel really heavy across the chest and heavy in the arms. Then on your breath in, your right arm will reach up to the ceiling, the shoulder blade will peel off the mat, and then breathe out as you draw the shoulder back. Breathe in, left arm reaches up, and breathe out as the shoulder pulls back. We're going to continue to alternate the arms, trying to encourage that sense of width and length across the upper back between the shoulder blades. You could also drop your shoulder with gravity, so you're really letting go of any tension as the arm drops back in towards the floor. Some people like this version because, as I say, it has more of a sense of letting go and releasing tension. Other people prefer that slow, controlled release back to the cushion, back to the mat. When you finish with your left arm coming down, we just do 3 more sets, both arms together. Breathing in to reach, breathing out to return. Remember to keep those arms shoulder width apart, don't let them come together. After your last set, let them rest down to the mat by your sides. Adjust the ball if you need to, adjust your head cushions if you need to. And then let's come into ribcage closure. So we've done this once already in part 1. Again, just soften the ribs towards the hips. Remember, as the arms go back, you want to maintain your alignment through the spine. So we breathe in, arms go up. Breathe out, arms go back towards the face. Breathe in to lift, and breathe out to rest. Breathe in, arms go up. Breathe out, they go back. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to rest. And we'll do one more set, getting that lovely stretch through the shoulder joints. When you're finished, let's take this into our chicken wings exercise. So this now really encourages greater range of movement in the shoulders and in fact the elbows. And what we're also doing is connecting down the sides of the body into our latissimus dorsi muscles. So let's bring the arms back into ribcage closure. Once they're back, try to keep your hands parallel to the ceiling and draw your elbows wide and then pull them down as though you want to touch your elbows onto your hips. Then reach back overhead and do that twice more. So I guess this is where it gets the name chicken wings, like little beats of your wings. After the third set, let your arms come back and rest to your sides. So we're going to breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out, arms come up and back. Breathe in, bend the elbows, pull them down to your hips. Breathe out, reach back. Breathe in, pull down. Breathe out, reach back. Breathe in, pull down for your last set. Breathe out, reach back, and breathe in, lift your arms, rest them to your sides. We're going to do one more set. Breathing in. So breathing out to go back. Breathe in to pull the elbows. Breathe out, release. And you'll feel hopefully a wonderful stretch across the front of your shoulders, and then that strengthening down the sides of the body. After your last set, let the arms come and rest to your sides. Again, just adjust yourself if you need to. We're going to finish off our shoulder mobility sequence with a opening doors exercise. So for this one, the arms come back above the shoulders. The hands come together. Your elbows come together as close as they comfortably can. Try to bring your hands sort of towards or just above your forehead or your nose. The elbows will come closer towards the shoulders at this point, so above the shoulders. So these are now our doors, and as we breathe in, we're going to open the doors and let the elbows come wide to your sides and down towards the mat. Not trying to force them, just letting them open to where they can. Then we breathe out, we close the doors. Breathe in to open, and breathe out to close. We're going to do just 3 more. Hopefully feeling a really lovely stretch across the front of the chest into our pectoral muscles. Heavy in the tailbone, relaxed in the head. On your last one, I want you to leave the doors open. And then just have a quick little look from side to side, just noticing where your hands are, where your elbows are. And then I want you to let gravity do the rest of the work for you. So as you lie here and as you breathe, just let your arms get heavier and heavier and wider and wider. So every time you breathe out, there's a sense of dropping and getting heavier to the floor. The muscles just letting go of tension, lengthening across the fronts of the arms, the front of the chest. And maybe just take a couple more breaths in this position. And then when you've taken your last breath out, have another little look from side to side. Notice if the elbows have indeed dropped any further. Mine are now resting very comfortably on the mat, but your elbows may not, and that's absolutely fine. We all have different structured bodies, different muscle tensions, muscle lengths. So just work with what you have. Please don't force yourself to push the elbows to the mat. Just go to where they go. We're going to take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, float the arms back above your chest, closing your doors, and then let them rest back to your sides. We're going to finish off on our back with a little curl-up sequence, and some of you will remember this from before, where we gradually reduce the head cushion support to bring your upper back into deeper extension. So obviously if you don't have the ball, you won't be able to find extension. You're just going into flexion and back to neutral. If you have the ball, you only go to where your body allows you to go. So just like the previous exercise, don't force yourself to go beyond what's comfortable in your body. Remember, any sharp shooting pain is your body saying, please don't do this anymore. Please stop. So let's start off with the hands behind the head. You interlace the fingers together, take the hands behind the head, and just rest your head into your hands. What I should say is those of you who've been advised against curl-ups, because of osteoporosis, for example, or if you prefer not to mobilise through the neck, then I would continue some more of those arm exercises. You could do that whole little sequence again, or just choose the one that you preferred the most and just do a few more sets. So back to curl-ups. Make sure the elbows are not dropping out to the side, so lift them until you can see them out of the corner of your eyes, and take a breath in. As you breathe out, a little nod of your chin to your chest, lift your head and curl your upper back away from the mat. So your chest, if you're using the ball, will rest on the ball. You'll take a breath in there. Breathe out, roll yourself back down. Take a breath in to prepare. Breathe out, come back up again. Breath in to pause, and then breathe out as you roll back down. Now this is where, if you would like to, you can take away one head cushion. So I'm going to take a little one away. And as I do, my head will drop that little bit further back to the floor. If that's still comfortable, we're going to do another couple of curl-ups. Working through the spine, taking it into flexion and then back into extension. The pelvis, as you're doing your curl-up, should stay nice and level, nice and flat in its neutral position. So just be aware that the pubic bone isn't coming up. I'm going to take another little head cushion away, drop a little further back, rest into that position, take a breath in, breathe out, come back up, breathe in there, breathe out, roll back down. And I'm going to do one more before I take away my last head cushion. This is going to be our last exercise on the mat, so you could continue to reduce the head cushions more gradually than I am. I'm going to take my last one away and see where I can get to. So today my head doesn't want to reach the floor, that's okay. I'm just going to stop where I am. I'm going to make sure I tuck my chin towards my chest, lift my head, roll forwards into flexion. And as I go back, I'm going to find the deepest extension I can, breathing out as I soften over the ball backwards, keeping my head really heavy and supported into my hands. Last one. Obviously, the further back you go, the further forward you have to come, so it does become quite an abdominal challenge. I'm going to come back as far as I comfortably can. I'm going to roll gently onto my side, take the ball away from underneath me, come onto my back again, just back into relaxation position, and just very gently roll my head from side to side, letting go of any tension in the neck if there was any. That's the end of part 2. I'm going to see you in a moment for part 3.